Elliot Rodger was born in London, England, on July 24, 1991. His father, a British filmmaker, and his mother, a Malaysian nurse, offered him a multicultural household. When he was 5, the family moved to Los Angeles, California, a city that promised more opportunities but also brought challenges. The comfort of Elliot's early life was disrupted when his parents divorced in 1999. He was only 7 years old, and the separation left a deep mark on him. The feeling of instability that followed was something he never really overcame. His mother's remarriage and the addition of a stepmother further complicated his emotions. Growing up, Elliot struggled with shyness and social anxiety. He found it difficult to make friends and often felt like an outsider. His sense of isolation deepened as he watched other children form bonds that seemed to come effortlessly. This growing sense of being different fed into his later resentment and anger. Despite the material comforts around him, Elliot's emotional needs were unmet. His attempts to connect with others often ended in rejection, reinforcing his belief that he was destined to be alone. This early life, filled with emotional turmoil, set the stage for his later actions. As Elliot moved into his teenage years, his struggles intensified. Social anxiety became more than just a phase, it was a crippling reality. He preferred the safe, controlled environment of video games and online forums over real-world interactions. These platforms, however, became breeding grounds for his growing resentment. His parents noticed his troubling behavior and sought professional help. Elliot was diagnosed with several mental health conditions. He was prescribed medication, but his refusal to take it left him untreated. Friends and family tried to reach out, but Elliot's isolation was self-imposed and unyielding. Elliot's preoccupation with violence and misogyny grew during this period. His online activity revealed a disturbing pattern of entitlement and anger, particularly towards women. He believed his lack of romantic success was due to their superficiality, not his social ineptitude. This toxic mindset found reinforcement in online communities that echoed his beliefs. Instead of challenging his dangerous thoughts, these echo chambers amplified them. The combination of untreated mental health issues and online validation of his misogyny created a perfect storm. Elliot's online presence became increasingly dark. His posts and videos were filled with vitriol and detailed fantasies of revenge. He began to meticulously document his thoughts and plans in a manifesto, later titled My Twisted World. This document provided a chilling insight into his growing mental instability and hatred. He started purchasing firearms and ammunition, preparing for what he saw as his ultimate retribution. Visits to gun ranges became routine as he practiced for the day he would unleash his rage. His writings during this period are disturbingly clear about his intentions to inflict harm on those he envied and resented. Elliot also began to stalk and harass women, both online and in person. He filmed himself making derogatory comments about women he passed on the street, further detaching himself from reality. His actions showed a man spiraling deeper into a world of hatred and violence. The online communities that supported his views did nothing to dissuade him. Instead, they emboldened him. As he became more entrenched in these toxic beliefs, the line between his fantasies and intended actions blurred, setting the stage for the tragic events to come. On May 23, 2014, Elliot Rodger executed his horrific plan. He drove through the streets of Isla Vista, California, a community near the University of California, Santa Barbara. Armed with multiple firearms and hundreds of rounds of ammunition, he embarked on a killing spree that left 6 people dead and 14 others injured. His attack was methodical and targeted. He began by stabbing his 3 roommates to death in their shared apartment. He then drove to a nearby sorority house where he shot and killed 2 women. His rampage continued through the streets, shooting at pedestrians and running others over with his car. The victims were students, friends and strangers, each caught in the crossfire of Elliot's delusional mission. His actions were driven by a twisted belief that he was righting the wrongs he had suffered. He targeted women and those he perceived as more socially successful, believing they had denied him the affection he felt entitled to. Elliot's rampage ended when he exchanged gunfire with police officers. Cornered and realizing his capture was imminent, he took his own life. The Isla Vista massacre was over, but the community and the nation were left grappling with the horror and senselessness of his actions. Victims of the tragedy. The Isla Vista massacre claimed 6 innocent lives. Catherine Cooper, Veronica Weiss, George Chen, Wei Han Wang, Cheng Yuan Hong, and Christopher Michaels Martinez. Each victim had a story, dreams, and loved ones who were forever changed by their loss. Catherine Cooper was a vibrant art history and archaeology student. Her passion for life and learning was evident to all who knew her. Veronica Weiss, a fellow student, was known for her kindness and love of sports. She was pursuing a degree in art and had a promising future ahead. George Chen, Wei Han Wang, and Cheng Yuan Hong were roommates and close friends. They were students at UCSB, recognized for their academic achievements and bright futures. Their loss was felt deeply by their families, friends, and the university community. Christopher Michaels Martinez was a standout student set to graduate just days later. His death sparked national outrage and became a focal point for discussions on gun control and mental health awareness. Each victim's story added to the collective grief and urgency for change. Elliot Rodger's Manifesto and Incel Ideology. Elliot Rodger's Manifesto, My Twisted World, is a disturbing 137-page document. It offers a glimpse into a mind consumed by hatred, entitlement, and a desire for revenge. In it, Elliot detailed his frustrations with women, his perceived social failures, and his justification for violence. The manifesto revealed his adherence to the incel ideology. Incels, or involuntary celibates, are a toxic online subculture of men who blame women for their inability to find romantic partners. They express extreme misogyny, resentment towards those in relationships, and a belief that they are owed female attention. Elliot's writings showed how deeply these beliefs had taken root. He saw himself as a victim of a society that unfairly favored others over him. This mindset justified his actions in his eyes, turning his deep-seated insecurities and mental health issues into a dangerous ideology. The case of Elliot Rodger brought the incel ideology into the public eye. It exposed the dangers of online echo chambers that validate and amplify harmful beliefs. It also highlighted the urgent need to address the root causes of such extreme misogyny and social isolation. The aftermath and legacy. The Isla Vista massacre forced a national conversation about gun control, mental health, and online misogyny. It made society confront uncomfortable truths about male entitlement and the normalization of violence against women. The need for early intervention in cases of extreme social isolation and mental health crises became clear. The tragedy also revealed the limitations of existing systems. Law enforcement and mental health professionals struggled to identify and address the threat Elliot posed. Social media platforms faced scrutiny for their role in amplifying hateful ideologies and failing to combat extremism effectively. In the years since the massacre, efforts have been made to raise awareness about these issues. Support for victims of violence, improved mental health resources, and initiatives to challenge harmful online ideologies have been prioritized. Yet, the work is far from complete. The Isla Vista massacre serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing challenges society faces. It underscores the importance of fostering empathy, respect, and support for those struggling with mental health. Only through continued efforts can such tragedies be prevented. Conclusion: the case of Elliot Rodger and the Isla Vista massacre stand as chilling reminders of the devastating impact of unchecked hatred, social isolation, and untreated mental illness. They highlight the urgent need to address misogyny and promote empathy and respect in society. It is crucial to provide better support for mental health challenges. Early intervention can prevent the escalation of harmful behaviors. Open dialogue about these issues can help break down the barriers of stigma and shame that often accompany mental health struggles. While the pain and loss caused by this tragedy cannot be erased, we can learn from it. By fostering a more compassionate and supportive society, we can work towards preventing future violence. Challenging harmful ideologies and promoting mental health awareness are essential steps in building a safer world. The Isla Vista massacre has left an indelible mark on society. It is a call to action to ensure that such senseless violence becomes unthinkable. Through collective effort and commitment to change, we can honor the victim's memory and strive for a better future.